Hey guys, it's Christina, and in today's video, we're gonna go over how you can pick a product that can make you over 1 million in revenue, and we're gonna be validating that product together. And in this video, I'm going to show you why the word oversaturation is something not to be scared of and actually something to run towards. So many people do not start print on demand because they've heard this word. They've heard that all the print on demand products are oversaturated, and some yes, some no. And I'm gonna show you how you can pick them and validate them to know which products you should move forward with. But first things first, let's talk about oversaturation. So first off, this term means that something has been done too many times. There are too many competitors in this product. And when people think of an oversaturated print-on-demand product, they're often thinking t-shirts, they're often thinking mugs. But what I've learned through my experience and what I truly believe now is that these products have so much competition because there is so much room for selling in them. So many print-on-demand products, or just products in general out there, don't have the ability to appeal to a massive wide range of different niches and people. So yes, so many people sell t-shirts because you can still be extremely profitable with t-shirts. Otherwise, that market would have dried up forever ago. So it doesn't matter if a product is too popular amongst your competition. What matters more is that this product can appeal to thousands of different niches. It can be offered with different types of personalization. It can be redone again and again based on new and current trends. Things like t-shirts and mugs have been selling for years and years and years and years. They are not on an uptrend based on different trends. They have pretty much always sold for people, and they can always be done in different ways to apply to different people. Sweatshirts, for example, another product I've seen people call oversaturated. What I sell the most of can be applied to things like pet lovers, veterinarians, teachers, moms, soccer moms, dads, grandparents, paramedics, new grads. Pretty much every single niche that you can think of often would like some way to show their pride for this, commemorate a certain moment. And that's often done with a lot of different types of apparel, mugs, and a few other print-on-demand products. One product can be done with tons of different design styles and tons of different niches, and that is how you're able to scale. Okay, so with knowing that, now how do you actually pick a product and validate it through data to know that this can actually scale to something that's gonna make a meaningful income for you? First, you're going to go into Printify and take a look through thousands of different products that you're able to sell through print on demand. So first, you're going to go into their catalog and you're going to look through a lot of these, the ones that grab your attention. Maybe you love to buy t-shirts. You might check out the t-shirts. Maybe you're a tank top type of girl. Maybe you're a sportwear person. Maybe you like to buy hats online, phone cases. I definitely highly recommend first going to the products that you yourself could picture buying or that you have bought for yourself in the past. I have found when I've been trying to pick certain products, starting with what I like to design and what I think I would buy makes designing for it the easiest, and it actually makes running your business a lot more fun because you want to order your own products. For me, I am a sweatshirt girl. In Canada, it gets really cold for a lot of the year, so I love to stay warm, and personally, I hate hoodies. Hoodies are just not my thing, so I love crew neck sweatshirts. So that's actually the product that I first listed out, but you're going to go make a list of all the products that fit into this category that you could picture yourself selling. So let's say, for example, I am a mug gifter. I like to buy mugs, I like to gift mugs, I like to collect mugs. So maybe a mug is a good product that I can consider. The first thing that I'm going to look for is that it is available. So going into mugs on Printify, I'm seeing a bunch of different options here. And one of the things that I really like to look for just to make sure that I'm not gonna have problems with my business moving forward is to ensure that I have a main supplier that's located where I want to be selling to, and that I also have backup suppliers. So let's say, for example, I want to sell a mug like this. The first thing I'm gonna look at is first the rating of the supplier that sells it, 9.9 9.4, pretty good. A lot of the print-on-demand suppliers within Printify are really good. They've taken out a lot of the ones that kind of fell below a certain ranking. So we have this one from District Photo. If we wanted to ship to the UK, there's also a supplier here. But another thing I'm going to look at is to make sure is if District Photo is out, if for some reason they're out of stock, do I have a backup supplier? And scrolling down here, I'm also seeing that there is a backup by Orca Coatings. It is a bit more expensive, but scrolling down, I could use this as a backup if something happened temporarily to District Photo. It is rare that something like this happens, but I have seen in many cases where someone has picked a product and they only had one supplier, and then that supplier either went out of business, they had technical issues and had to shut down for a week, they ran out of stock, and then that person could not fulfill any orders. So if I'm trying to pick a main product for my store, I do want to make sure that I have a backup case in case the worst thing happens to my main supplier. Let's say I'm a mom, I absolutely love serving the kid niche, and I want to make baby bodysuits. If I scroll down under the Rabbit Skins 4400 here, I see that they have 3 local USA providers, and I would make sure that they all have pretty much a decent amount of colors as well, at least these 2 right here, so that I know, again, if something happened to, say, Printed Mint, and that's who I decided to go with, I have some backup options. And it's not the worst thing ever if the product that you really, really want to sell doesn't have an exact match to it, but something at least that can be offered as an equivalent alternative if, again, something happened that you could offer your customers. So for example, you really wanted to sell these scented candles, and for some reason, Printed Mint went out of stock or had a technical issue for a week, you could maybe offer them one of these other options, which are extremely similar to your customer for the time being, so you're not having to put a pause on your business. Now you've got a list of different products that can be sold through Printify and Etsy that have backup providers so that you have a safe ground to stand on for your business, but now you actually need to validate, can you make a living with this product? So if I'm a shirt girl, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to type in shirt into Etsy. And one of the first big signals that something is going to do well is if you see a lot of the popular now or bestseller badges. This is an awesome sign that many people are making a killing with this product. But one of the best ways to validate this is using EverBee. You can get it in the description and the top of my comments as well. But the EverBee tool integrates with Etsy to help you figure out the data behind all of these listings. So I have my EverBee installed. Under shirt, I'm going to go to product analytics. I'm not going to look at just the first page. I want to look at the whole EverBee database of people using the keyword shirt. And then I want to sort by monthly sales. And I can see just how much monthly sales people are making with one listing of this product. And the first good sign that you're going to notice is that a lot of people are making a lot of sales with this product. Sometimes you might find one listing of a product and it is doing super well, but it's the only one doing super well, meaning that person, hey, they might be doing marketing behind that product. They might have a brand behind that product. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But if a lot of people are doing well with that product, it means there's a lot of buyers for that product. The next good sign for any type of product is if you start going through some of the best sellers, is that they are applying to different niches. This one here is a girlfriend shirt. This one here is a mama shirt. This one here is a pet shirt. This one here is a team name shirt. This one here is a Disney family vacation shirt. Don't do Disney. This one down here, another pet one. We have another vacation one. We have a holiday Christmas shirt doing really well. We have this one here, when injustice or an injustice feminist shirt. Scrolling down again, so many just different niches doing well here. The next good sign that we're going to look at is for a lot of people starting now. A top comment that I get all the time is, well, these are established shops. These have been selling for years already, and that's why they're able to make these sales. Etsy doesn't show brand new products to people or brand new stores to people, but we're going to check if that is actually true. And one thing that you can do is using EverBee and the product analytics is scrolling over. We can see shop age over here, and we're going to hit filter and then then under shop age, we want to look at shops that are less than a year old. And now we're able to see a bunch of listings from stores that are new. So we have a few here at the top, which unfortunately are copyrighted. I also filtered out the word PNG because I don't want to find PNG files. I want actual print-on-demand products here. So I was going to skip some of these top ones. They are copyrighted, but still scrolling down, we're finding other ones. We have this one here, new best friend onesie with 202 sales. We have this one, awesome like my daughter, with 181 sales per month. This isn't total sales, that is per month. Total sales, 1,400 sales, listed in 8 months ago. We have this one here, which is a Justice shirt, selling 176 times a month. It was listed 4 months ago. We have this one here, a Diet Coke sweatshirt, 160 times a month, listed 5 months ago. So these are awesome signs that even with this type of product, new stores can still do really well. And to remind people that this listing is just one of their listings. Most stores have hundreds of listings up. So this isn't the only money they're making. They don't just have this one listing existent. Again, also because they are selling shirts, a product that can be put with many different design styles and many different niches. On the other hand, say I want to sell sneakers. Sneakers was on my list of things that I like to wear that I think I want to base my store around. Let's actually go validate that to see if others are doing well with it, because if others are doing well with it, so can you. But chances are, if there's not that many people doing it, there's not that many buyers, there's not that many bestsellers, meaning it's gonna be very hard for you to break into that product because there's just not the market out there. So sneakers is a product that Printify offers. They are not branded. They're just plain generic brand sneakers. And typing in sneakers onto Etsy, the first thing that I'm noticing is I'm only seeing one Popular Now badge pop up, and even scrolling down, I am not seeing many of those bestsellers or the Popular Now tags. That is the same one over here. And another thing that I'm noticing is these bestsellers here are on branded products. This is a Converse one. This one here was also a Converse one, which doesn't really match the Printify product, which are these ones here, which also don't actually ship from where we want them to ship from. They are currently shipping from China, which a year ago might not have been a problem, but now more than ever, people know the word tariffs, and things crossing borders might be a little riskier and might cause a lot less people to purchase from you than in the past. But even here, you can see that these aren't making that many monthly sales, and the ones that are branded. We have the Air Force ones here. These ones might be able to, but they're embroidered, which we can't do through print on demand. These are also Air Force ones. So none of these really look like print on demand products. So I'm not going to be first to do it. The chances are that I'm the first to think of this is very, very rare. So this is probably not a product that I'm going to try to sell. Let's do candle as another example. The first thing we're seeing, lots of Popular Now tags, a lot of bestseller tags as well. Another really great sign that I'm seeing is that I'm seeing this applied to different niches. So this is a bridesmaid one doing well, a morning coffee one doing well, a Jennifer or random name one doing really well, a mom one doing really well. We have a bookstore, a Zodiac one. So a very good sign that this can be applied to a bunch of different niches to help you stick out. Using EverBee and sorting by monthly sales, we have a lot of listings doing really well, not just a handful of them. And again, going through them, one of the top ones is an engagement candle, but the next one doing really well is a personalized name one. The next one is a mom one. So they're not all appealing to the same niche. There's so many buyers out there, and we can see listing age. Some of them doing really well were listed 3 months ago, 8 months ago, and we can also go and do the filter for shop age as well. But the first thing I'm seeing is one of the best selling ones here is selling, and it was created, the whole store was created at 13 months ago. This product's only 10 months old. One of the best sellers, making $15,000 a month. Awesome signs. Versus one of the original products that I had been considering selling was tapestries. But when I actually started doing the research, yes, we see a few with the Popular Now sign. A lot of them are just the custom photo. A few of them we have, but coming into the product analytics and going to tag analytics, looking through the tapestry, we have a few that look like they're doing really well, but if we actually hover over them, this one that's doing the best is actually just a crochet pattern. It's not an actual physical product here. This one is just a custom design. So these ones I don't really count because anyone can do this with any product. It doesn't apply to a niche, but it can be super overdone. There's already a bestseller selling just this custom design one here. We have this one doing really well with 200 sales, but if you take a look at the monthly sales here, they drop off pretty quickly. This is definitely not as bad as these shoes, and you can still make money with it, but can you make enough to quit your day job? That I would be a little bit more hesitant on. And then scrolling over, if we add in our filter for shop age, here we have a few doing okay. Let's sort again by monthly sales. We have some doing decent, making about 3,000, 4,000 a month. This one is a woven throw blanket, so it's not exactly the same. It's not a tapestry. We also want to make sure we're comparing apples to apples. So again, these are patterns and SVGs. These are not the tapestries. So even the best sellers that we're seeing are not actually doing that well. We have this one that is making 61 sales a month, making 4,000. It's not too bad, but do I really think that a store selling just tapestries on Etsy could really make an income enough to quit your job? I'm not sure, but that does not mean that this product can't be supplemental. And what do I mean by supplemental? Supplemental means that this could be a product that you do maybe include in your store, but it is not your main product. For me, what I do is sweatshirts are my bestseller. I put all of my designs on sweatshirts and t-shirts during the summer months because those also do really, really well. But when I find a best-selling design, that's when maybe I'll consider adding it to one of these products that don't get as many sales a month. Because I already have proof that I have a best-selling design, it could do well on these products that don't sell as much, but I'm not basing my whole store success on these products that aren't making as many sales for people a month. And another thing you want to look out for is making sure that you're not picking a product if you want a long-term sustainable business that is currently in a trend and will end. For example, the Y2K baby tees that were doing super well last year. If you look up baby tee on Etsy, yes, you're gonna see a lot of popular nows, some best sellers. Some of these were doing so well last year. I saw a lot of people opening stores around these baby tees because they were one of the hottest selling things on Etsy for a little bit. But if we actually take a look at the product analytics, sort by monthly sales, a lot of the best sellers here, one, actually aren't baby tees anymore. Just scrolling down to find some of the baby tees here. Let's type in Y2K because that was often accompanied with this. There we go. We have a lot of these small looking shirts. We have this one here doing well. It has 151 sales. It was made a month ago, which honestly is not too bad for this, but we're not seeing a lot of them making that many sales. And if we take a look at these, especially the ones that have been around for a while, using EverBee, scrolling down, we're going to take a look at their trends for all time. This one you can see did really, really well in 2023. And then scrolling down, we are seeing them selling less and less. So while you might find some of them that have so many sales, and in 2023, turns out this trend was longer ago than I thought, you could have made insane sales on this before, but it has definitely gone down. We can take a look at this personalized one here. This has been around for 8 months, not doing too well. We can also take a look at the trend. It's been decently steady, but this was also created after the trend had kind of died down. Let's check out this one, which has been around for a while. Also seeing a downtrend with the peak being in 2023. So when you're trying to pick a product, make sure there are actual buyers in there. Make sure those buyers are part of many different niches. So you can do many different designs and there's many ways for you to stick out. Make sure that other people are selling that same product and have started recently and they're still making sales. That means you can too. Make sure that it isn't just a trending product that is going to come crashing down if that's the only product that you plan to sell. And there are so many products out there on Printify that have all of these that can be applied to so many different niches that can sell all year round, that aren't just a trend, that you can add value to, that trends will change so you can still make sales with, that other newbies are making sales with. with. So don't be scared of hearing the word oversaturated for a lot of these products. They're oversaturated again because there's so many other buyers and there's so many different spins you can take on this product to stick out, to carve out your own market. Versus if you're just trying to find a product that is under search, there's not a lot of wiggle room because while you might be the only one selling it, there might not be the buyers or there might not be many different niches that will buy this product. So picking your main product is going to be super important to your store. And yes, you can still add in some of these smaller products here and there if they make sense in your store, but not basing your whole store around it. Today's video was very unscripted, so sorry if it was a little bit messy. And if you have any questions or want any clarification on anything, let me know in the comments below. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next week.